Everybody, what's going on? Welcome to the Day Trade Room. We are live streaming on YouTube with our Trade With Me Thursday. We're ready to rock and roll. We got to go through our market analysis, see where we're at, see what's going on. We did have AVGO earnings, which is going to be something that we need to look at, discuss, talk about. Let's kick it off and get going. Hope everybody's doing fantastic. You're ready to crush it today. Yeah, we got non-farm tomorrow. No big news today, eh? That's good news. No news is good news. All right. S&P right now dropping 32 points at the moment. So we got to see where we're at. Where's this going to go? Top situation. We've got, let me get this thing teed up real quick here. There we go. Right now in a bearish environment here off the 5-minute. When we come over to bigger time frames, kind of looking at this, we can see we've been struggling at this 68.86 level for a minute. I mean, we had some resistance back here, 218-ish. That carried through. We had some support here at 225, 226, back into resistance. That's where we're at again today. Depending on what's going down here, we could try for a bearish engulfing. I mean, things have been very, very volatile. So let's go ahead and just tee this up just in case so that we have an idea if we get a bigger flush lower where that could lead to. I mean, you're talking about a 62-point drop. We're down 32 right now. That is for sure on the table. For upside moves, I want to really want to watch the 68.71. We're already at overnight session lows, so I'm not too worried about hitting those again. We've got 68.92, 6,900 here. I'm going to make this a little dashed line. I just want to be aware of it. I don't want to really get long till we're above 68.71. If we take out yesterday's open, we have a lot of potential choppy zones here. I mean, we're sitting in a decent zone right here. We're sitting in that decent little area. If that breaks, I think we go to 68.14, 6,800. And then if we get into 6,800, I'm imagining we're going to drop in 67.73. Zooming down here into the 30-minute chart, you can see we're down in potential support. This is essentially where we bounced a few minutes ago, back this morning. A rally up here. Maybe we're coming back up into the 68.78, 92. I really don't want to get bullish from a 30-minute standpoint till we're over 68.50. And then the 15-minute chart, honestly, still looks pretty bearish. So right now it looks like bears are going to be in control. Again, all that's able to fluctuate and change. So let's look at the NQ here for a second. And they're off. I'm a little bit late getting in here today. Again, we've got an engulfing target. I mean, this would be huge. I honestly doubt we get down here for the NQ. NQ was beast mode yesterday. But coming into these zones, this 24/7/88. I mean, look at all of this support. This is bananas. Look at that level. I mean, that is just close, open, wick, close, open, wick, body. And now we've got 24/7 just underneath it. So let's see what those look like. Great support here, though. 25,000, great zone of support. Let's get 25.2. This 200-point bump could be nice. Potential channel off the 30-minute. 15-minute, great zone of support. If this rolls over and we take out this 24,962 on the NQ, I imagine we're going to see a good downside drop. Into there. at least. All right. Let it open. Let's let it open. Let's just kind of be chill for a few minutes. See how this thing plays out. Make sure that you update your options. So today's March 5th. So what I want to do is take that 4, take it out, put a 5 in there. See where we're at. Our calls, if we look at the SPY, we're sitting at 682. So I want to be in the money a little bit on that. We're at 684 on the actual option. Let's go to 680s. It's $2 in the money. Let's go over to the puts. Gonna do the same thing. Take that 4 out, replace it with a 5. And we're sitting at 683. So let's go to, I don't want to delete the whole thing. So let's go back over here, put 685 in there, be a couple bucks in the money. In case puts rule the day. In case the puts rule the day. So let's see how it plays out. Let's see how it plays out. Getting this good pop up off the ES1. AVGO had earnings. They're popping. Great move up here from Broadcom. I'd love to see 324 hold for a couple days, turn up, and then maybe get this continuation to 350-ish. If we extend this little level, boop, you can see we still got resistance overhead. Fortinet looks fantastic. If you didn't take profits yesterday at $84, because we hit, I think, 83.98. So if you had a GTC at 84, which is what I did, you may not have got tagged on that. Go ahead and make sure that GTC is in there. And you didn't do a day order on that one. Take some profits off the table. This is our T2. It looks really good. And then we're just kind of walk this thing up the rest of the way, assuming we get some bullish push here, right? That's kind of what we want to see. So make sure that's in there. I'm going to make sure mine is. Got them. And then IGV, if you're still in this one, coming into weekly target at 87. Make sure if you're trading IGV here, if you did take that entry, that you have some target here at 87. All right, make sure something comes off the table there. Make sure something comes off the table there. Real target there's 87.08. I think if we hit it, it goes engulfing. No, it's just a target. That's the target, though. Be pretty to go grab that. That'd be gorgeous price structure. Everything else, again, was a hurry up and wait. Let's see what happens. Gold still pulling back a little bit. Bitcoin here pulling back a little bit. One thing I need to look at is a gap fill on the indices. We got gap fill potentials on the indices here. This is what we're looking at. About to get it done on the NQ. 30 points. S&P, 12 points. Dow, quite a bit. You can see bullish, a little bit more bearish in nature here. So let's see if we can get that 12-point bump. What is 12 points from where we're sitting at? 68, 55 is 13. We're going to go with 12 plus 62 is going to put us at 74. Let's get these get teed up here. Let's go to 682s. May have a little bit bigger risk. You can scale that size down. Let's get ready for this potential gap fill, moving on up into 71 by 76. Really what we want to get into is about 72, 73. 75 would be a great round number. IGV just hit $87 first target. IGV just hit $87 first target. I just got a fill on that. Really pretty trade. There's your 87.10. Appreciate you, Jesus. Getting that good push. Nice move up. Let's see how this holds. I'll drink my potion, aka coffee. And it's yummy. Cut back on my coffee lately. That caffeine intake. All right, NQ's rocking and rolling. If we can hold a Harami here, I mean, this is a big push. That's a 6.75 look. I'd love to see this come up into 68.71, but if we can hold a Harami here, I'd be super duper jazzed about that. NQ looks super strong. Again, here's that look. You can see we're about to fill the gap over there on the NDX. Pushing through the VWAP on the 5-minute here off the NQ. You really want to get this target up. Now, the 5-minute here, we've got 138. I think that is our overnight session. So this is kind of the zone that we want to get into. If you're taking bullish trades off the NQ, typically we take our trades off the ES here, getting a nice pullback off the ES. Really would like to see this 5-minute close and then get follow through. Going to reduce your risk to about 7. Let's see what this 5-minute does. Potential doji sandwich. Second thing I'd like to see if we don't would be a pullback here, hold, and then trigger up, take an entry off that, looking for that extra move. Again, when we're underneath the VWAP, typically we want to be careful taking bullish trades because we know that VWAP can act as resistance. I'm just being patient here, wanting to wait for the bigger picture setup. 5 cents away from T2 on Fortinet. Now we're getting that little pullback. Got my good 2-mile run in this morning. Feeling good about that. By the way, IGV wasn't like an official trade. I know Ramez put that out there to you guys. I don't know if you got into it or not. Didn't get into it. You did or didn't. But it was not like posted in our call out room, just so you'll know. Getting a big pullback. There's the pullback. Does this roll over and drop? Does this continue to push? That's the question. That's the question. As far as IGV goes, this is going to be a really pretty look here for you guys. I just want to show you the power of understanding your zones. Okay. This is the power of understanding your zones. So when we zoom out, this is something that we talk about all the time. Finding those hammers, finding those transitions. Here's this drop, 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 harami, harami, engulfing hammer. Fortinet's got filled at 84. Let me update that. Swing trades on point today, baby. Swing trades on point. Let's go. Like this 5-minute hammer that we're getting, by the way. Anyway, what we're looking at here is we got this engulfing. What we wanted to see was the follow through of the engulfing here. And by getting that follow through, this becomes T1 going bar to bar, and then this becomes T2 trying to push on up, right? So when we dive into this daily chart, we'll look at this more in the swing trading room as well. When you look at this, here's your low, high, lower low, lower high, lower low, broke a high, higher low, boom, there's your move. This is your transitional move here, right? This is the attempt at the transition. There's your break of the weekly, which goes ahead and puts you on up into this weekly target. So if you took an entry point here and your stop loss is here, that's essentially a 1-to-1, 1-to-2 risk reward ratio. Now you do have a monthly chart, but then also this second weekly target. And if we get the big push with expanded tech that we're kind of looking for here, this could go ahead and pop up into these areas. I'd love to see this move into 95. And so what we're doing is we're watching this, a move up into 91, pull back into 87, maybe 85, then trigger back up, take your entry here. This would be ideal. So if I could be like, hey, what do you want to see? I want to see this right here. I want to see this move into 91, take your gains, pull back into 85 by 87, somewhere in this ballpark, get a trigger, risk $2 here to come up and make all the way up to 95, retest this gap open, maybe the gap fill, rinse and repeat. Get back up into 100, take out these guys, because if these guys get taken out, then we're running up into here. And what we could look at here is the start of potentially some longer term positions on a lot of these expanded tech products, right? A lot of these expanded tech products have just gotten hit. Shopify is another situation like this. This is exactly what we drew out. Good push up. We want to see this move into 139, pull back into 129, then into 146, 155. Go test this gap area right here. So this is kind of playing out what we would like to see at the moment. Dude, this is day trade. I know. There's nothing to do here. This is garbage. Garbage price action right now. I'm going to go back to puts. Notice the environment that we're in off this 5-minute. The 8, which is our green line, still below the 21, still below the VWAP. Great initial pump into the VWAP. Now we're failing. What we wanted to kind of see was a pullback, hold 68.56, not get this super exaggerated pullback, hold this, give us a nice little trigger, and then push up, right? So just look at the difference in strength if we were to get this look. Let's say, and then, all right, let's say we got that hammer. Then we get follow through up, right? Vastly different look and strength. There's the move up. There's your pullback. You're holding the 821. You're holding this zone of support here at 68.60. Now we're trying to get that follow through up, at least retest that high, if not break through it into 71, maybe retest overnight session area at 68.76 and get the gap fill on the S&P. Now we've dropped all the way back through the range. We're at opening price low. I would be looking to potentially scalp some 1 minute shorts here to the downside, but this has already fallen so much. Do we want to try to do that? That's the question. That's the question. Also, NQ, little divergent. The NQ is showing the strength that I just mentioned in the ES. So does the strength of the NQ hold up and push us, or does the ES weakness hold and we roll over? We got the gap fill. Notice this. There's your gap fill by $3. Failure, right? Gap fill, buyers achieve their objectives, sellers come in, drop it. SPX still looks rough. The Dow looks real bad, right? Trading at the lows right now. First 15 minutes out of the way, we're going to have a Harami forming right now on the ES and the NQ 15-minute charts. Again, NASDAQ showing a lot more strength. NASDAQ showing a lot more strength. We're going to try to go engulfing off the NASDAQ 5 here, NQ5. Let's see what happens. Over here, AVGO just called a bid. It dropped all the way back down, retested 324. Now buyers are starting to come back in here. Going to look at Apple. It's failing support. This is no bueno for the market. Amazon, great push up. Great push up here. I was watching that 216. This could get into 222, fill the earnings gap, and then potentially put us back into a transition. Nvidia's blah. Microsoft looks nice here. This could jump back up into 424. Meta also showing strength, but you got 673 as resistance. TSM worries me. Google struggling. And then Tesla, this is in a nice little downtrend. I just don't, honestly, like when we're looking at Tesla here, when we're looking at that move on Tesla here, that kind of concerns me just a little. Also, I meant to share my pretty face. There we go. That's for all the YouTube people. Apparently it helps the algorithm or something. I don't know. I'm learning this thing. We can play a little bit of music. We just got to be careful. Engulfing. Still got puts teed up here. Again, we're still bearish. Our current environment right here is still bearish. The difference is the environment on the NQ is actually swapped back to bullish. And so if you're in here and you're an NQ trader, you could be looking at scalping something off a 1 minute or a 2000. Tick, something like that. Just like this move right here. You could have taken that. I didn't take that. I was not fast enough. And it also happened in a whopping 12 seconds. So it had been real quick on that trigger, but this actually worked. Off this 2000 tick, again, this is 19 and a half to come up and make 23. So that worked. 1 minute, trying to work here, get that push up off the 1 minute. That's a big risk though. So you might want to be mindful. It's a 42-point risk off the one on the NQ. Tech holding on strong. Love when we hit our targets. on our trades. So does my account. All right, we're pushing through that opening range right now on the NQ. That 1 minute 43 point setup. If you're quick, I mean, you're up 20 points on that right now. You can make 20 points on the NQ is fantastic. Starting to get that push up. So we're waiting. We know what time it is.
Everybody was kung fu fighting. Those kids were fast as lightning. In fact, it was a little bit frightening.
All right, that's 9 seconds. I think I'm in the clear with 9 seconds. I just can't play the same song again, right? But that is a Carl Douglas Kung Fu Fighting, 1974 edition, official video. Notice the attempt here. We're trying to get these transitions. Here's your drop, move lower, boom. This trade did not work. This trade, we'd be looking to take this short. It didn't give a trigger. Move back up, pull back, rally up. Okay, now let's see if we can break through the VWAP. Let's see if we can get this breakthrough here on that VWAP. And from this little harami, it gets rejected. We're holding up finally. We do have the potential 8 over 21. We're still underneath the VWAP. This is not an A+ setup by any means. However, over here, we finally get this EMA cross off the NQ5. This is going to be trying to go up into overnight session highs. Again, the NQ is stronger right now than the ES. It is stronger. It's strong like bull. You got a nice 32.5 minute here. I'm sorry, 1 minute here off the NQ. If you're going to take that, be very careful. That actually overlaps with your first target. Just be careful on your risk assessment there. Personally, I prefer to wait for a few minutes. Now the question is, what happens here? If this closes doji and breaks up, which fingers crossed, I'm going to take that trade. This is a trade at 82. We're at 83.70. $1.70 in the money. Kind of what we're teeing up right here. What I'd like to see would be a hold off this 5. This is about a 4.75 risk. Break this high, move up into here, take out this high. That's a 1-to-1. If we can hold, this is what we're looking at. And then get that runner. Look at your 2-to-1 risk reward ratio, literally overlapping that target of 68.71. This is the way. See if this could push the SPX. We're clear on the SPX. Let's see if this could push us higher. We'll be at 15. Ooh, you got a Harami on the 15. Look at that. So if this doji sandwiches, we take out this Harami and that opens the door to at least go retest that high, if not go into the gap. That's fun. 30-minute. It's going to close hammer. That would be a continuation trade off that 30-minute hammer. And then obviously the 1 hour is not going to do a whole lot here, but don't run. And it ran. Or the NQ is running. Come on, you. There's that push through the VWAP. Any pullback off this 1 minute, I'd be looking to take it long. You say, well, Mark, why didn't you take this Harami off the 1 minute, looking for that move up right here? This would be a 3-point risk to make 4.5. Because I was waiting to see if we could get the doji sandwich off the 5 minute. You rascal. All right. No trigger, no trade right now. Good push up, though. Bulls completely in control. Now we've got our direction. We've got our price direction here. There's your target into 68.71 as foretold. There's that move. Real pretty. If you took it off the hammer, 7 to make 14. If you took it here, 3 to make 10. Nice drop off the 1 minute continuation move from the NQ. Good continuation push there if you trade the if you took the NQ continuation trade, that was pretty. That's hit target. Any pullback here, looking to get jiggy with it. Any pullback, we're looking for an opportunity. May get a doji sandwich here off this 1 minute. Could potentially get a doji sandwich up. This is a 3-point risk. We could look at taking that for a quick scalp. Might still want to go half size on that just in case. It did not hold. I was going to see if that held. It did not hold. Still may work. I'm not in this trade. Full disclosure. Was not able to get over there and grab that. That could still work into this 1-to-1 real quick if you were able to take it. It most likely will because buyers are strong right now. 3.75 hit 3.5. If you got your target there, just one tick below, like we always talk about, you just got filled. Good trade on that. Was not able to jump over there and grab it, which is sad. There's your target hit. If you're in this trade, move your stop to even. Let's see if you can't get on up into 68.80. Now we're going to start working our way into overnight session highs. We want to get into 68.92. That's your next target. And we just filled the gap on the SPX. You might want to take some gains here if you haven't. That would stop you out on your pullback here. That would be in a good scalp. Anybody take that scalp? Doji sandwich higher. Continuation. Attaboy, Ron. Good job, Ron. Doing better than me today. I'm 0 on the day. 0 trades on the day. I just missed that guy. Kind of bummed about this one, to be honest with you. I was really I had this teed up, ready to rock and roll. My trigger was on go. And it just ran. Again, the 1 minute here, I wanted to clear that VWAP before taking it. That would have been pretty though, man. I have about a 3 to 4% risk, 3 to 4 point risk, making 16. That's really pretty. Any pullback here, we're still looking to giddy up. We did just fill the gap on the S&P. We've got an engulfing now on the NDX. NASDAQ leading the way. NASDAQ leading the way higher. We got the gap fill early. It failed. Now we've got an engulfing, and we're taking out. Goal here for the NASDAQ is to go take out 25,179. Expanded Tech, rocking. IGV, it's rocking. Fortinet, rocking with it. This IGV move is helping all of tech. This is going to put some wind in those sails. Good trade, Ryan. Well done, sir. All right, let's see what kind of pullback we get here. We may just be a pretty move up into chop. This is a nice hammer, but it might be a little too late. 3.75 risk. No trigger on that. Again, the push through bar, this breakthrough bar here, what I was looking for was this to kind of hold that doji sandwich look. Even if we would have closed a little higher, a little bit of a hammer, kind of like we got on this 1 minute scalp, that would have been the huckleberry to run it up into 68.76. If you don't get that reference about being a huckleberry, you should go watch the movie Tombstone, but the good one with Kirk Douglas and Val Kilmer. Easily one of the best movies ever. IGV was not an official call out trade, Audrey. We didn't post it, but Ramez did put it out in the swing trade room. He actually did put it out in the swing trade room when he taught the other day. I actually sent this screenshot to him. Just so you guys know, I was like, hey, watch this. Probably be easier if I had a whatever. I don't know if y'all can see this or not. Let me see if y'all can see this. Don't know if you can see that, but it's the exact same thing I sent to him. I was like, hey, watch this for this trade move up into 87, 88, 91. Well, that's cool, man. I've never been there. Never been to Tombstone. It looks cool though. This is having a baller move. 88.93's next target. If you're in that, we'll talk about that more in the swing trade room. 84.80 channeling target hitting on Fortinet. All right. So if you're in this channel, this target's getting hit and you're making money. What should we do here? Take your stop loss, move it up. Let's get rid of this hesitation line. Move up that stop loss. Guaranteed profit at this point. Lock it in. Let's see what this 5 minute currently does. Let's see. If we can hold a hammer, I'll consider taking this for a retest higher. I doubt we're going to go engulfing on this for the S&P. We've got 24 minutes. We could. is this going to be? From that high to low, 10 points. That is an engulfing move right here. You got plenty of time. I mean, let's look at these bullish bars, right? 5 minute, 13 points. 5 minute, 15, almost 16 points. 5 minute, 14 points. So if this holds and we get a 14-point jump, boom, we're up into here. And then if we get follow through, boom, we're up into here. See what I'm saying? So we could get there. We could get there. Got a potential scalp setting up here off this 1 minute. I'd kind of rather wait for the 5. I'm going to wait for the 5 here. Got a 3.75 1 minute scalp that failed. No trigger, no trade. No trigger, no trade. We need to make some Neos merch. It's got Bob Marley on it. It says no trigger, no trade. And then Garth Brooks, and he says, I'm tradeless. Tradeless as a man could be. Pretty move on AVGO. Good earnings here. Put that in the swing trade room for us, Dennis, if you don't mind. Now look at sellers. Filling the gap, turning the tides, dropping it down. I'm sure that if we have to pay, we'd have to pay likeness or something on that. You know what I'm saying? We'd have to do something. Finally found it. We're waiting so that we can
Getting jiggy with it. Getting jiggy with it.
I'm for real going to wait and not play his music for more than 10 seconds. He might actually sue somebody. All right. All right. That's enough of that fun having stuff. He'll only slap me if his wife tells him to. Yeah, we could do that. That'd be fun to have like a engulfing Harami hammer. Something like that. All right, getting a transition here off the 1 minute. Say, Mark, what's that mean? There's your move up, right? There's your little uptrend transition. Here's your downtrend transition, uptrend. Maybe we could have taken this. Obviously, hindsight's 2020. There's your drop. Boom, took out your swing, move back up, looks like we're going to try to transition lower. Downside here about the 1 minute transition is we got to wait for this 5 minute. Does this 5 minute retransition all the way back down? Or no, I don't know. I might look to take that. What's our risk? 10 points. Going to be a little bit more than that now. Let's go ahead and swap over to puts. 22-point risk, percent risk, 11-point risk here off the 5. That's pretty big. Pretty big risk here. 6.5 coming down to make 4.5. Let's see how we close this 5 minute. May get the doji sandwich lower, retest this low. I don't know. It's super choppy. NASDAQ looks great. This looks awesome. Good move up, pull back, holding this area. This would be a really pretty trigger all the way back up. Or I could see this failing, dropping back down through the range, which is what's going on. Look at your gap fills, by the way. SPX, we're talking about getting that gap fill here, rally into it, boom, fill the gap, sellers hit. Here, saw the gap fill, pushed, trying to revisit this overnight or yesterday's high, not overnight, but over, session high. And then the Dow just trading at the lows. Dow trading at the lows. Apple trading at its lows. Getting a very light bounce here. Amazon pulled back. Nvidia still looks okay. It's choppy. Microsoft continuing its move higher. Meta sideways. AVGO looks great. TSM trying to come back alive. Google's not flipped yet. Tesla's blah. Now we're trying to come back up through this range. If this pushes on the ES higher, we're probably going to see a great push on the Qs. Let's see what this would look like if we jump over to the Q. Qs are trading at 611. We're going to be wanting to trade that around 609. About a 17% risk. I like the Qs long here. $46-point risk on the NQ. That's rather large. Rather large risk on the NQs. Again, if you're trading tick charts, scalping on the tick is not bad. Or the 1 minute. Both those have been pretty nice here. This is about to break. This is a Q trade. This is not the ES trade. ES trade now reversing. 13-point risk. This is a big risk, right? I like this hammer. 4.25 hammer. I could take this hammer long right there. 4.25. I am going to take that. I'm going to take it small size though. If we trigger long, I do want to take that. I want to take it small size. Canceling order with the break lower. Let's cancel it for now. No trigger, no trade. 4.75 on another hammer. I'd really like to see this 5 minute. I'm going to wait for 5. I'm going to wait for 5. If you're wondering like, hey, what are you going to do with that? Fidget spinner. That's what we're going to do with that. That's why we have the fidget spinner. It's a magical tool. It's like my man down in Birmingham who has a unicorn or a leprechaun flute. It's been in his family for generations. You ever seen the leprechaun video? Just want to know where to gold at. That is why we waited Look at that. Look at what happens when you wait. You look at this, you're like, man, this is going to doji sandwich higher. Let's wait for the 5. Boom. Now, this didn't trigger us, right? No trigger here. We're waiting, cancel the order, wait for the 5 minutes, see how that plays out, rolling over. This is choppy garbage. We did have one potential trade back here, building pressure underneath this VWAP. Again, probably could have taken a shot on goal right there and then let that thing ride. We did take this trade. That was a good trade call out. I didn't take the trade. I'm going to count it because Ryan made money. So if y'all make money, I do count it. I couldn't get over there fast enough. I do like the 5-minute hold. If this can hold and we break higher, I think we may go. Is NQ taken out overnight session? No. NQ has not taken out overnight session high. This is where we're at off the NQ on our daily chart right now. Overnight session high to go break is here, but notice the 25,209 that we drew in. We broke that. We tagged it to the daggum penny. Look at this. You can't make this kind of stuff up. Look at your high for the day. This is what we marked out pre-session, right? Look at that. To the daggum tick. That's why we set levels, ladies and gentlemen. That's why we set levels. This would have been a really pretty 15-minute doji sandwich. Nothing going. Hitting that 25,209. Boom. Now that we're back, look at this. I'm going to delete this level. Now that we're back below 25,138, I want this to hold support, right? Why do I want this to hold support? Because it was resistance 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bars in the overnight session, right? If we could hold this area and then get like a 30-minute hammer here or a candle here and break up, that opens the door to go at least retest 209.75 if you don't break it, and then 250. That door stays open. If this closes below this area, a move back into it opens the door to drop all the way back down to your opening price. If that happens, that's very much no bueno. Like super duper no bueno for those of you who play taco versus burrito. You don't play that card game, you probably should. It's fun. The kids love it. But look here. This engulfing is intact. This is where sellers are headed. If we can get a sell signal, sellers are heading to 68.35. They want to go take this engulfing off the hourly. If that happens, and the NQ starts to flush, the door now comes open to go to 68.14 and then 67.73. Go ahead and take your profits. Not all your profits, but some of your profits on your swing trades. Just be sure you don't want to give things back too much here, because if this selling really picks up, that's where you're at. Notice this. Same overnight session right here, right? You guys see that? This is the exact same look that the NQ had. It's just we went up and tagged this area. Now it's pulled back. I wanted to use that as support. This is what we were looking for on the ES, was that continuation move. We didn't get it on the ES. The ES is way weaker than the NASDAQ. This is your engulfing on the 30-minute, and we've got plenty of time to go do that. We got 10 more minutes to drop down here and take that out. So let's see if we can't go take that out. And if we do, we may take it all. 68.40. There's your transitional trade. Here's your transition on the 1. Any move up, we're looking to see this thing drop into 68.40. Go take out that over that 30-minute, go engulfing off that 30-minute, which would then nest you into the 1 hour at 68.35. Let's see if we can get that. Go over to puts. Let's see. If we can't make any money on the drop down. Today. You're quiet today. Y'all doing okay? Everybody all right? Seeing a lot of chatter over here in the chat. Well, yeah, you're doing good. You're the one making money today, Ron. Ron's like, I'm happy. Here it comes. Bam. Target hit. There's your engulfing. See it go blue? See it go blue? That was the objective. We got 30 more minutes to go down another 5 points. Probability of that happening is pretty daggum high. That would turn this candle blue. And then that opens the door to go all the way down here and then all the way down here. Got the potential engulfing on the NQ as well. I doubt we get it on the 30-minute NQ, but it's there. This would have been great if we could have got any kind of move back up for that short. Again, quick environment. Here's the move up, hold, looking for the transitional trade back up. Fail. Cool. No worries. Now we're looking to see, do we get a move back up and fail? Possibly this guy, that little chunker right there. Maybe we could have got something on that. If that could have stayed Harami and then dropped, we're short. For sure short. Notice 8 below the 21, below the VWAP here. Target 68.40, go engulfing. Target 68.35, go engulfing. If we can get a 1 minute Harami, I may take that short. See if we can't get that by the 30-minute marker. Missed that because I'm trying to point out trades to you. I missed it again. That's fun. Watch it go blue. Boom. It's like I'm magic. You know, who made money there? Please tell me somebody did. Somebody took that. I did. Please tell me one of you did. Ryan, did you take that? I'm sure you did. Who took it? Anybody? Bueller. Attaboy, Ryan. Attaboy. 4 to make 5. Take your gains. You want to see that thing flip blue. Now we should see a flush. Now we should see a flush. But it's like this is the way. I mean, this is what I said. It is the way. Prophecy has been foretold. There's your drop. Now we're trying to get this on the NQ. NQ targets all the way to the downside at, drum roll, if you want to take the NQ short, 25.02, but your engulfing is 24.962.75. That is your 1 hour target off the NQ. Probably not going to get to here. I doubt it. I mean, you got 5 minutes. You could. Maybe you could. I don't know. I doubt it. But giant turn. We take this out. I think we get a flush. ES, if you're trading this, looks great. That's a 2 to 1. Move your stop at least to, some profitable area. You still in this, Ron? Attaboy. Move your stop down just a little bit. I'd move it to probably, 68.37 because this 1 minute drops so quickly for you. 4 points, you're up 8 right now. Go ahead and move it to a 1 to 1 just at 4. So if this flips and pops that 1 to 1, you're out like that. That's where I'd stop it out at a 1 to 1. Good trade. Attaboy. Attaboy, son. Attaboy. Well, I have a miss trade. All right. So even if you miss a trade, Write it down. At 10:24 a.m. Do appreciate Ryan because now I can actually call those out in the trade room and be like, they worked. All right. So what you want to do, journal your trade. Journal your trade. Here's why you want to journal your trade so that you can deal with any emotion from said miss, right? You can deal with any emotion from said miss. For example, this looks great, right? This is a really pretty trade. We knew we had this double engulfing right here that we wanted to go tag. We knew we had that double engulfing that we wanted to go into. Now we're trying to get into lower targets. We've got this guy that we're sitting at. That's another lower target that we're sitting at. And then we have, excuse me, I had to sneeze. Then we have another one at 68.14. So the reason that we journal is when we have a miss, what emotions come into you with that miss? That's the question, right? You journal the trades. So we track our trades and our call outs and all that kind of stuff for the profitability factor of it. But we journal the trades for our emotional factor. We want to journal for the emotional factor of it. What was this first trade we took over here? It's like 3 points, 3.75. This little doji call out there, 3.75. I've had no option trade today, by the way. I didn't list my option trades from yesterday. Did I take a picture of that? What's today? Today's the 5th, right? Cool. All right. So I didn't take a picture of my trades yesterday. Ryan's journal has a big smiley face. Probably. I hope it does. I hope all your journals have smiley faces. So if I miss this trade, there's the possibility of me getting upset, angry, frustrated. I go into self-talk, right? Like maybe you come in here and you're like, dude, I always miss these trades. It's not fair, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. Of course, the one I walk away on, I miss, or the one that, Mark's over here goofing off and missed it. Whatever the case is, we get into the self-talk. What you want to do is record that self-talk so that you can deal with it, right? Because the way that you talk to yourself is the world that you create for yourself. And so you want to edify yourself. There's your target on the NQ, as foretold by the prophecy. I said, I doubt we're going to get here, but we'll probably get there next. And sure enough, shaboing. That's what we got. Now, the door is open to come all the way down here. Do we do it? Most likely not. But coming down into 24/7, maybe. That's a 200-point drop. We're only down 175 right now. Dow and S&P both look terrible. Maybe we get it. We'll see. But targets have all been hit, right? Look at this. Boom. Doji sandwich lower off this 5 minute. Am I going to take this 5 minute? Nope. I'm not going to take that. We're too extended. So I come and show up on the day. No trades. That's fine. Maybe we take that 1 minute inverted hammer. I was really looking for a pullback and then a drop, but beggars can't be choosers. Now we're coming into the next target, which is 68.14. And we'll see if that plays out. Again, journal this because if you are frustrated, I'm a little frustrated. I'm going to be honest with you. I like making money with y'all. I don't want to call trades out and not make it myself. The whole point of trading is to make money for you. And so I just put feeling a little frustrated. This is literally my journal entry. Let me just read it to you so you'll know. Trade one, missed trade, 10:24 a.m., 1 minute Harami into a 30-minute and 1 hour engulfing, easy trade. A little frustrated because I was looking at other charts. However, students made money. That makes me happier. And there'll always be another trade. So I put myself a reminder here, there'll always be another trade. Why? Because if I can remind myself there's going to be another trade, it helps me deal with those emotions of FOMO so I'm not chasing other moves. I can wait for my next A+ setup, whether that comes in 30 minutes or whether it comes tomorrow. That's a moot point. Does that make sense? So when you write down your feelings in the moment, it actually gives you the ability to kind of be objective because I'm putting my feelings down. I'm getting it out of my body. I'm writing them out of my body, releasing it, putting them on paper, and then I can go deal with them accordingly. Does that make sense? Hope it does. All right, team. Good job, Brian. If anybody else in here made money, congratulations. I'm proud of you. If you didn't, congratulations. I'm proud of you. I made zero money today. I did not take a single trade, but I called two good ones out. That's how the cookie crumbles. All right. I love y'all. I'll see you all in 30 minutes in the swing trading room. We'll go from there. Thank